尊敬的各位同事，欢迎来到天津出席上海合作组织家会议。今天凌晨阿富汗发生地震，造成重大人员伤亡和财产损失。阿富汗是上海组织观察员国，我同大家一起向遇难者表示沉痛哀悼，向遇难者家属和灾区人民表示慰问。
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our show. So, in today's episode, we're gonna dive into China's Global Governance Initiative and how that's a blueprint towards a more just world order. And so, as the United Nations marks its 80th anniversary in 2025, the international community is reminded of the institution's original mission, which is to guarantee peace, uphold international law, and allow all nations a voice in shaping the global order. Yet, however, the turbulence of the current era, between wars, sanctions, inequality, climate crisis, the also disruptive rise of new technologies, all have exposed deep flaws in global governance. At the heart of these challenges lies a system that many argue has long been dominated by a handful of powers, leaving most of the world marginalized. It is against this that Chinese President Xi Jinping unveiled the Global Governance Initiative on September 1st, 2025, during the Shanghai Cooperation Plus summit that was held in Tianjin. The initiative seeks to strengthen the role of the United Nations and to offer a fresh vision of multi-polar world order, one that gives a greater voice to the global south and replaces unilateral dominance with shared responsibility. The first principle is sovereign equality, which is a reminder that all states, regardless of their economic status, are equal in rights in international decision-making. Now, for decades, many countries of the global south have reported being marginalized, with their sovereignty eroded by external interference and economic dependency. This initiative asserts that no state should impose its system, values, or even will on other states. The second principle is a firm commitment to the rule of international law, particularly the United Nations Charter. President Xi and Chinese officials argue that the law has too often been manipulated by powerful states that apply it selectively. Wars of intervention, unilateral sanctions, and the use of international institutions as tools to pressure and to have undermine trust in global norms. The initiative calls for restoring justice by making sure that laws are applied equally, protecting the weak as much as the strong. Now that leads us to the third pillar, being genuine multilateralism. In this context, Beijing rejects exclusive decision-making groups such as the G7, where few nations make decisions affecting billions and billions of people. Instead, China advocates for a governance model that is based on broad consultation and inclusiveness, granting emerging economies and developing countries a significant role in shaping the future of international policies. Moving on to the fourth principle, which is a people-centered approach, where the GDI, unlike the cold language of geopolitics, emphasizes human well-being It argues that governance should produce measurable improvements in people's lives, including narrowing the digital division and addressing climate change to ensure access to modern technology and infrastructure. Now, finally, the initiative emphasizes real results. Rhetorical comments are considered insufficient to address division or build trust. China now insists on concrete reforms, including restructuring global financial institutions, ensuring fair access to artificial intelligence, and strengthening the United Nations' ability to act on pressuring global issues. Now, Western critics dismiss the proposal as geopolitical maneuvering, but for much of the global south, there is some resonance. Many countries are tired of what some have defined as imperial mafia, of powerful countries that monopolizes resources, applies double standards, and fosters instability. However, China presents itself as a responsible actor offering both critiques and practical alternatives. The geopolitical symbolism of launching the initiative at the Shanghai Cooperation Summit was not missed. By choosing this platform, Beijing highlighted the growing importance of Eurasian cooperation. It also sent a clear message stating that the future of governance for the world may be playing out in venues located outside of a Western capital. For Arab analysts, the GDI holds promise. It can actually be seen as an opportunity to escape decades of marginalization and engage in a more balanced order where sovereignty and development are respected. China's initiatives, in addition to aspirations for justice and equality, have practical mechanisms. The Belt and Road Initiative for infrastructure and peacekeeping contributions. And also, it calls for the reform of the United Nations. However, challenges remain, since the success of this initiative will depend on whether other major powers obstruct or support it, and whether developing countries themselves can unite behind a common goal rather than giving in to external pressures. Yet, the significance of this initiative cannot be dismissed, as it represents more than a diplomatic statement. It is, in fact, a declaration of intent to redefine legitimacy in international affairs in a world where unipolar dominance is increasingly contested. China's proposal offers a different path, one grounded in sovereignty, fairness, and shared progress. Now, I hope this was of help. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next episode.